What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Pros and Cons. Man United have just beaten Aston Villa 3-2, coming from behind to win. We was 2 goals down. It looked like chaos was going to erupt at Old Trafford, and the lads pulled it together. The youngsters showing up, the stars showing up, and we win the game 3-2. So we've got a lot of positives to talk, maybe a few little negatives, but let's just dive into it, shall we? So, of course, the negatives are going to be set pieces. The first 2 goals that Aston Villa scored, you had one where it was just John McGinn, basically, just one of them ones where no one touches it and it just ends up going in. But the criticism with this one is the fact that Andre Onana was just stuck to his line. He did not move out. There was no kind of command in the box. Everyone was a little bit confused, miscommunication. Maybe that has something to do with the fact that it's probably the 10th centre-back pairing that we've had, chopping and changing, no consistency whatsoever. People will try to throw excuses at it, but it was just terrible defending. Just terrible defending. The ball flies in, Aston Villa go 1-0 up. You're thinking, right, that goes in, you learn from your mistakes, and this doesn't happen. Second goal, they have a corner, and I think it's Longley who just peels off the back, goes to the back post. There's not a guy within 10 yards of him, literally. Just easy header back into Dendoncker, who hasn't scored in about 9 years. And I think it was his first start for quite a while, and then he just gets a little back heel flick onto it. Aston Villa go 2-0 up, and it was weird because watching the game, we actually played okay. I think a lot of people were saying that in the first half. I mean, I know Sam was fuming with the bits of defending that we were kind of showcasing, but the actual patterns of play with Eriksen, Bruno, Højlund, even Rashford at times, who I'm going to talk about individuals, but like it looks like we was playing better and we didn't kind of deserve it. But when you have lapses of concentration like that on set pieces, then you do get what you deserved. And Aston Villa probably went in the first half and was like, you know what, I can't believe we're 2-0 up, because they've been pretty good, in fairness. Ever said at half-time, if they play like that again and don't concede off set pieces, they'll go and score. And obviously that is eventually what happened. But just the first initial 2 goals, I think, even after the win, Eric Ten Hag will be absolutely fuming about. And our set-piece coach thinks Eric Ramsey certainly has a lot of work to do, because we're not only just bad at set pieces defending them. When we have one from a free kick or a corner, we very rarely score from them. We always hit the first man, or we pass it out and try a little sequence and it never works. So we definitely need some work on them. Right, now on to positives then, because they were the only glaring ones. Apart from that, in terms of if we're just speaking specifically on performance, I think they were the only glaringly standout ones that was worrying. Maybe a couple of times people not tracking the runners, but that's, bits to pick at. Now we're going to talk about the positives. Alejandro Garnacho, we always call him the star in the making, and he is living up to that reputation. Look, he's had a few dips in the past couple of games. He's missed some chances at Anfield. He missed a chance against West Ham, and we was urging for these guys to be more clinical, especially attackers. I spoke about that in my last pros and cons, but this kid is becoming a star now. There's no doubt about it. He has the potential. He works extremely hard off the ball. You saw him at the end, pulling up for cramp. He's relentless. He had a goal that was chalked off because he was offside. He then went and scored a very similar goal, so that he's got that mentality to just keep going and going and going. Every time he picks up on a half term, you know what he's going to do. He's going to run at a man. Now, sometimes his decision-making, it's questionable. Maybe you can square it here. Maybe you can pull it back, blah, blah, blah. But he will learn that as time goes on. If we're just talking specifically about raw ability, this kid has got it in abundance. And he started on the right yesterday, which I thought was interesting, because I've always said this. Every time they play Marcus and Garnacho together, they always accommodate from Garnacho and then put Rashford on the right. Rashford over on the left again looked a little bit better yesterday, was good. Garnacho on the right was sensational. I don't get why he's not been playing there more often, because I always thought playing right footers there is very one-dimensional. You don't know which way they're going to go, but he was even cutting in. He was driving in through to the middle, causing havoc there. Just all around a fantastic man-of-the-match performance from Garnacho. Got 2 goals. Like I said, the first one is in similar fashion to one that got chalked off, squared across the box. Rashford passed to him, and he scores. And then the second one, bit of a deflection from a Bruno pass. He takes it very well, I think, on his weak foot. And he was just a threat all game. He was direct. He was causing problems left, right, centre. Just a fantastic overall performance. And I think Garnacho, man, he's got the world at his feet. He's just had a little baby. He's like 18, 19 years old, but he's like already a star player at the minute. It's mad. So I just hope he can keep this consistency now, because honestly, his ceiling is astronomical. Unbelievable. Rasmus gets his first goal in the Premier League for the club, and you can see how much it meant to him. Like, Honestly, the celebrations, it looked like he was about to cry. He was absolutely buzzing with it. And you could tell it was a pressure that was on him. You know, the stats were being made, 13 Premier League games, I think, or something like that, where he hadn't scored for. You have to kind of feel sorry for him in that sense, because he's not... We all know he weren't getting service. I mean, Anthony and Garnacho, prior to this game, had made about 5 passes to him. Garnacho probably did that in this game. I don't know the actual stats themselves, but he lacked service. He was struggling, and strikers need goals for confidence. It's as simple as that. And there was a guy watching there yesterday in Robin van Persie who also scored a left-footed goal against Aston Villa. Obviously, that was different circumstances. We ended up winning the title with that one. But it's certainly a nice platform to build off. And you see it all the time with strikers. They haven't scored for ages. They finally get one, and then they can't stop scoring after that. So let's hope it has that effect. Let's hope the players around him are starting to get a bit more used to him and stuff. And yeah, just absolutely buzzing for Rasmus Højlund. I think he is. I think he's going to be a top player, but he needs the right environment and the right players around him to really grow. Well, let's water that plant. Let's water it, because he's worth it. Another one who we're speaking about every single week, Kobbie Mainoo. Phenomenal, man. I think it's weird to say this about an 18-year-old kid, but he genuinely plays like he's 30 years old, like he's a seasoned professional. He has as much composure as anyone I've seen at that age. He takes the ball in half turn so well, can evade, can drop a shoulder. You know, he's got long range passing, can link up combinational. Defensive works really good. He made a fantastic few slide tackles, defensive tackles in there. And after his mistake last week against West Ham, where he had a bit of a lapse in concentration, give it away, and they scored, you want them to bounce back from that, innit? You don't want to lose any confidence at all. And he just looked, it was like, it didn't affect him at all. Walked straight back into the team. Such a composed performance. Obviously, won't get the headlines because Garnacho scores, Rasmus scores, but he deserves a shout out 100%, because I said it on the review yesterday. He's the only kid who brings that balance to the midfield. We've tried Eriksen as a 6. We've tried McTominay at the 6. We've tried Bruno Fernandes at the 6. Amrabat wasn't available yesterday. So he's mega important in that position to the way we want to play. And I thought, no, regardless whether he went forward, dropped back, like wherever he was, he really fit in. And you can see why Erik ten Hag was so eager to bring him in pre-season, and why he was so gutted when he got injured. Fabulous player. As a team, we played so much better, just connecting the dots everywhere around the pitch, whether it's wing backs, committing to the press, the sustained pressure as well throughout the team. We would never give Villa a second, whether it was Rasmus on the front foot, Garnacho. It was just a great game plan from a team who had lacked tactics and connection for so long this season. Really happy with the pressing, was happy the possession, the goal that we scored that was offside, Garnacho's. The build-up for that was very similar to the one under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that was scored at Newcastle, if you remember it, between like Donny, Bruno, Mata. I think Rashford was involved. But they did a similar thing yesterday where the patterns under pressure was just immense. And we go and score, but unfortunately it was offside. Otherwise, that would get looked at as like a goal of the month. For me personally, as a team goal, was unbelievable. So I'm liking the fact that we actually seemed like a team yesterday, because when we've won games before, it's been individual brilliance moments, or it's only one because of this guy or this penalty or this VAR decision. We won the game yesterday because we played as a team and we was all committed to the plan, and I think they can learn a lot from that. The last positive we're going to talk about, I mean, look, a few special mentions. Marcus Rashford, fantastic. Evans and Varane made a few quality blocks. Good save from Onana. There was bits in there, right, that you can talk as positives, but I think the last one I want to speak about is Erik ten Hag, because obviously there's a few people in the fan base calling for his head. There's a few people, questioning him, which rightfully so, with some of the results that we've had. I completely understand that. But that was a massive win for him yesterday. He was probably thinking when he went 2-0 down, fucking hell, this is just, we've got Forest next, then Tottenham, then, it's going to get worse. But having a performance like this, a lot of the time can be a turning point for a manager, because when you witness that, you're like, right, everything I want on the pitch is there. They've done it. I know they can do it now. Now they just do it consistently, because if they go and lose at Nottingham Forest, then what's the fucking point, right? So I think he'll be happy with it. He definitely won't get carried away. We know what it's like. He'll be very measured, I'm sure. I'm not even seeing the quotes after the game, but I'm sure he'll be measured in his approach. But he'll be happy that his strikers finally got a goal, confidence. Garnacho's in form now. Rashford looked a lot better. So now it's about, right, these guys that are in form, keep them playing together. Let's try to get a consistency out of him. Hopefully no more injuries. If you get a win against Forest, build. You go into the new year, there's that fresh feeling. You've got Ineos coming in, 25% taking Sporting control. There's going to be changes upstairs. It's positive, right? But only if you get results. So let's see what happens. Thank you for watching Pros and Cons. I appreciate every single one of you who tune in constantly on this channel. The community is growing. We're getting closer and closer to 4K, so please do consider subscribing to the channel. Leave a like on the video for us. Any feedback whatsoever you have at all, any pros or cons that I've missed, leave them in the comment section. Have a lovely new year, everyone. My name's Nick. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!